Sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Apologies.
So, busy day for you today, 5 fighters on the bill.
Yeah.
At least this time I've caught everybody after they've made weight, because the last time I saw Liam and Jordan, it was in Malaysia at the Z1 Championship.
Right, yeah.
And I was speaking to them and Jordan was just like, I haven't made weight yet. Just, it was good to see, he was like...
It's not a great time.
So I've caught it a lot better this time.
Yeah. Usually very miserable and not
As we
time.
all are in that state, yeah.
Absolutely.
But talking about making weight, you know, obviously it's an individual thing, but have you got any kind of standard practices or amounts that you have fighters cutting weight? How do you know what fight weight to put your fighters in for?
It's down to each individual fighter. I mean, often, you know, some of my guys will say 3 weeks before a fight, I've still got 5 kilos to go, and I'm like, right, we need to come up with a decent plan.
Yeah.
I have to say that we've all moved on over the last 2 or 3 years, well, probably 5 years. We've you know, when I was fighting, it just used to be cutting water. You know, it was literally dehydrating yourself. Well, I've dropped 5 kilos in a day, but just by sauning and, you know, salt bathing and all ridiculous things like that. And then you're trying to fight 24 hours later. We've learned a lot now about nutrition and how to do it properly. And I think you'll see that if you see the shape of the guys who were all in yesterday for the weigh-in, it really shows. You know, they're all cut, they're all ripped, they're all lean, they're all still look bright and fresh. You're saying about not being able to talk to Jordan properly before the weigh-in, whereas actually if you talk to the guys, if you talk to any of the guys yesterday before the weigh-in, you'd have probably found that they were all pretty bright, pretty okay, because, you know, we've sorted out the nutrition side of things, and it's in between fights. It's not, you know, they can all start eating healthily a month before a fight, but if they've got 10 kilos to drop, it's no good. Nowadays the guys have started to realise that they actually feel better if they start eating proper nutrition and look for, you know, some superfoods in all the meals. And, you know, they're keen on finding ways to actually fuel the bodies properly and look for recovery and stuff like that. So, you know, we're getting a little more scientific about it.
Yes, yeah. Do you have some sort of recommendations for them in terms of what they should be having after the weigh-in to kind of get themselves restocked back up properly?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously you've got to rehydrate yourself. It's about certainly the day of the fight really as well. I mean, I don't particularly like to see them stuff themselves and, you know, cram stuff down them and go and have, you know, pizza and a bag of Haribo and, you know, ice cream and all the stuff that they've been missing. I say it's not over. You can't let yourself relax until the day after the fight, and even then, you know, I don't really want them going mad for too long. Rehydration has to be done properly. You have to understand how your food groups work, and, you know, you can't just purely be putting carbohydrates in yourself. You knock your body, blood sugars about all over the place. You need some carbs, some protein and some fats. You need balanced food, balanced meals. You know, I don't really agree with protein shakes and rehydration drinks and all the rest of it. I just think you've got to do it with proper solid food. Milk is okay. Rehydrate yourself with milk. That's a good solid food. Chocolate milk's good because it's got some simple sugars in it as well. Get it into the system a bit more quickly. But you know, not Haribo and crisps and all the rest of it.
Talking about the fights that the guys have got tonight, well, I guess the two main ones being Liam and Jordan. Is there anything they've done differently in this training camp than they've done before?
Every training camp's different,
Yes.
It's up to me to come up with a plan at the beginning of the training camp. And often they'll not even know what I'm really working on, but I'll hold the pads differently. You know, I'll be trying to pull different things out of them. I sometimes use my judgment, and sometimes I specifically say, right, this is what we're working on, this is what I want you to do, this is how I need to be. Sometimes I'll just try and guide them to be that way anyway by holding the pads in a certain way and make it just happen, because often the fighter will overcomplicate things, and, you know, I'll say I want you to do it this way, and they'll do it too much, or they'll think about it a bit more than they need to think about it, over the importance of it. So sometimes I don't think they even need to know exactly how you're training them. You need to share the tactics with them.
Yes.
But sometimes, you know, if I wanted to use his right kick, I'll just make him kick more on the pads. I don't need to tell him. right kick. So every training camp's different. We come up with different tactics. I'd say the mainstay of what they do is the same fitness work, the same sparring work, the same drills and routines. I'd say what's different is pad work they do with me. I'm working different tactics and working different things with them. What I tend to do is we tend to do pad work in the mornings, and then they do the classes in the evening, and they'll do the class that I'm teaching the class, so I'll guide the class, work with them with techniques they want, what they need to do. You know, I'll often teach the whole class stuff that I'm wanting Liam to work on, because it works for everyone, or stuff that I'm wanting Jordan to work on, you know, and then they can all do the same thing. I'm a believer in that. I'm a believer in not keeping the fighters off separate in their own little ivory tower. They have to join in and do the classes, even at Liam and Jordan's level. You know, we've got to have the team spirit going, and the last couple of months has been amazing, because you know we've got Liam, Jordan, Joe, Steve Malidi, Tamara, we've got Mattis, we've got all the guys all training together in every training session. So it's the buzz is absolutely brilliant.
Keep boxing him, good, keep it there, and then just kick after. That's it. To the body though, not the leg. Early, good. Hands up. Good. He wants to start smiling at you, just keep going, strong, don't go back.
In terms of sparring partners, kind of, do you change sparring partners or instruct sparring partners to spar differently to kind of represent a different kind of opponent that's coming up for the fighters, or just really pad work with you?
No. Sometimes if one of the guys is fighting a southpaw, I'll ask who they're fighting to go southpaw. But clearly, if you're sparring with Liam or Jordan, you need all the advantages you can get. If you've got to go southpaw as well, it's not a great thing. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you know, sparring is I don't actually believe sparring's about tactics. I think sparring's fitness and getting your eyes working and getting your coordination working and all the rest of it. I don't think you really work your tactics in the sparring that you're doing. I think it needs to, by the time it gets to the sparring, I think it needs to be in there.
Instinctive, yeah.
So you need to be doing that on the pads and getting them doing drills and stuff like that. Like I say, it's not a case of over-explaining things. This is what I want you to do. You just need to change the style each time. Liam and Jordan, but Liam particularly is really open to that. You know, he'll change himself and comes out a different fighter every time he fights. Still hungry to learn, still hungry to improve himself and change himself, and that really shows. You'll see that today. You'll see a different fighter today.
How much does injuries factor into how you're programming people's training or manipulating what they're doing, in terms of either managing existing ones or trying to build a prevention for future ones?
In any one training session in the morning, if I'm holding pads, it's a bit like a memory test for me, because each fighter's got a different problem.
Yeah.
He can't right kick, he can't left kick, he can't punch full on with his right hand, he can't, you know, whatever. So you do have to work around injuries, certainly, and you know, help them to rehabilitate themselves by giving the injury rest. That's often not as easy as it sounds. You know, I've had fights a lot myself where I've just had to train through them, work through them. You know, you go into the fight worrying about your injury to your right leg, and after the fight you realise that you never even thought about it when you're in. You know, if it's a serious injury, serious enough to affect the fight, then they shouldn't be fighting. I'm not really a believer in forcing them at this level to push through. You know, regardless, if there was a problem at that level, I'd say, well, I don't think you should fight, mate. So, you know, little knocks and niggles you have to watch. Of course, you have to worry on. Everybody's going to get those training at that level of intensity. You very rarely get a fight where they go in without something wrong. But, you know, that's just a case of managing it when you're doing it.
Yeah. And have you already, for kind of picking on Liam and Jordan really, because they're the two kind of highest profile guys you've got there, but is there anything already you've kind of got in your mind that they need to be working on after this fight, before the next fight? Or is it kind of wait and see what happens in this one?
Well, a lot of it depends on, obviously, what it depends on who they fight next. Yeah, there are things that I've seen in this fight camp for both of them that I'm thinking, I'm not entirely sure I like that one. I'm going to do a bit of work to change that one. I'm going to do a bit of work to highlight and enhance that. You know, you work people on their strengths. So if something's working well, then you work that. You don't work on the weaknesses. You don't make them, you know, practice something they're rubbish at because they're never going to use it. It's a bit pointless. So, yeah, there's stuff I want to work on both on, but you know, at the end of the day now, they've had, you know, 200 fights between them, and you know, it shouldn't be that much for me to do.
Is there any kind of performance testing or fitness testing that you do with the guys, or is it just you're monitoring really on the pads what's going on?
Not really. I know whether they're fit or not. I can tell by the way they respond and the way they react. I can tell by the way they're breathing and sweating at the end. And you know, after nothing, you're not fit enough for you. Right? I've never, to be honest, that's not something I've ever had to worry about with either of them, or really, in all honesty, any of my fighters. We train very hard, and I'm not really sure we've ever lost any fights because of fitness. You know, usually we lose a fight because the fighter's better, or they've had better tactics, or whatever. Fitness is, by the time they've been through a fight program that I've set for them, they should be fit.
Yeah. Is there any sort of obviously the background that I'm coming from as well is with the strength and conditioning, so the like resistance training and the power and the specific sort of speed work, as well as like the energy system stuff. Is there anything that you have the guys doing on that front, or is it kind of
really the last couple of years? We've got Steve Campbell now. He does PTs out of the gym, and he does a lot of strength and conditioning work with them, and he does most of their fitness stuff now, which in a lot of ways is good for me because it frees me up to work technique, tactics, and do the stuff that, you know, I shouldn't be doing. You know, anyone can. I'm not underplaying what he does, but anyone can beast a fighter and make them tired and make them do 1,000 burpees a session and all the rest of it. But that's not how they're going to win the fights at this level. I say this all the time. It means I have a bit less fun when I'm training them now, because it means I can't put them through all the, you know, horrible routines and blast them and beast them and all the rest of it. But it is useful, especially at this level, as I say, to separate the two things. The problem is he and I need to communicate, because often they'll be doing so much on the strength and conditioning they'll be knackered by the time they come to my thing, or they'll be too tired to do the class or whatever. So it all needs to be balanced. We've got that probably sorted now, in that Steve cycles what he does, or does it in phases anyway. So by the time he's a couple of weeks out from a fight, it's more light stuff and speed stuff and making weight stuff, and then, you know, after the fight he'll go back to the strength and the power stuff that you know you can't really be doing when you can't be doing plyometrics 3 times a week and working your tactics and trying to lift weight, and you know it doesn't work. So we've got that between us now.
Yeah. How long do you typically like as a fight camp? You know, how many weeks?
I think they should be fit anyway, and I think they should be more or less on, not on weight, but they shouldn't be they shouldn't balloon up too much. I believe you should be able to get ready for fight in 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks is long enough, but you know, a month. I don't really start stepping the training up or changing anything that we do till a month before, 4 weeks. Any longer and you're risking injuries and risking getting sick of it and risking peaking too soon. Sometimes I've done it where, you know, 10 days out from the fight they've already peaked. Good fight tomorrow. I can't do that. You know, sometimes we come back down off the training, you know, and make them hungry to train again. Give them a couple of days off and then back in, and that works better. It has to peak at the right time, and that's just done on instinct really.